Alright friends, got to do a quick knife sharpening video tonight. I got my buddy's Microtech that we took apart and cleaned. I did a couple videos. I kind of ditched it a little bit when I compared it to my Kershaw Livewire, okay? Because that Kershaw Livewire is a pretty damn nice knife. But, you know, the Microtech is a fine knife too. It is a good quality American-made knife. And they do a good job. They just have a couple problems like that stiff button. But I think they pretty much cured it with the newest generation. So don't let that persuade you not to buy one. Go check out the new generations and check them out for yourself. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and sharpen this one up tonight. And because it's such a narrow frame on this, and we're using the Tormek T4, we're going to go ahead and try out the small knife sharpening jig that I have. This will be the first time I'm using that. And the concept here is to load the knife in the jig and get the, open it up here. It's a little bit big, you know. It's not that small of a knife, but it is small because that blade is not very deep. And the Tormek requires you, let me put it in there just a little bit more. Okay. Now what I want to do is have that stood up. And that's going to be a little bit of a problem with the Microtech because it's got that blade that stays off to the side just a little bit. Okay, see what I'm talking about? So we need to try to average that the best we can. And let me goof around with this for a minute off camera here so I can really get it dead on, and then I'll show you what I did, okay? Alright, so what we had to do, because the blade is a little off center, what I had to do was make sure I had it as even as possible. Alright, we're not going to have it 100% correct, alright, but we're going to be able to repeat our bevel. So a little bit slightly different on one side than the other, but you know, of course the knife is a little off-sided to begin with. So this is the small knife jig. This holds the knife, and then this knife centering jig holds on to the jig itself, so the blade be manipulated on the stone. Okay? So now we're not going to use the angle finder. What we're going to do is we're going to repeat the angle that's already on the blade. So we'll go ahead and take our Sharpie, just like every other system uses. Alright. And then we're going to figure out what our angle is going to be. Let's see how that looks. More. Now I could have saved some time going with my core stone first, but I didn't see a whole lot of damage on the blade, and I figured I'd just take my time and start with the fine, and then we'll switch over and go to the super fine. Now I know what a lot of y'all are thinking. You should stay working one side till you raise a burr. But Tormek has a little different way of thinking about that. And right now I'm doing it the way they recommend, is to keep working side to side. And what that does is it keeps you from taking off too much material from one side of the knife than you needed to. So if you just keep going side to side and keep the edge in the middle, you shouldn't take off as much material. Alright, so nice and sharp, and can shave my arm like there's no tomorrow. Okay? And it didn't take very long at all with the Tormek T4 and the diamond stone. That's just one stone. Alright, if I want to take it up to the 1200 I could, but that is a very nice edge on there. And it's late, and I need to clean this out a little bit. Alright? So, anyway, just wanted to show you sharpening on the T4 real quick.